Hi, this is Jeffrey Kurt Financial Group. Today's Wednesday, September 24, 2025. And not a lot of news going on. Micron reported last night, decent numbers, stocks down today. Powell spoke yesterday. What I wanted to talk about today was just in an overview of kind of where we're at right now, some thoughts about going into the fourth quarter. And this has been kind of triggered by a conversation that I had with a client yesterday who was very concerned. Hey, this might be the top. Maybe we should, get more defensive. What do you think? And, the conversation brought up, very valid points for not being in the stock market. All-time highs. The valuations are really high. It's probably a bubble. And you've got, possible government shutdown next week. You got, all the cultural divisiveness going on across the world, across our country. And, maybe the economy's not going to be that strong. So, plenty of things to be concerned about. However, I think that a lot of that might be priced in. Now, Monday night, the S&P 500 closed at the 28th all-time high for the year. For the quarter to last night, the S&P 500 is up 7.5%. And it's, well up from the April lows, in the midst of all this news that's probably, valid concerning, the negativity. I think also there are some signs that the speculators and traders have been on the wrong side of this market, and perhaps a bunch of institutions have missed this market too, which may mean that they've got to chase it in the fourth quarter if they're underperforming. So one of the statistics I think is interesting to keep an eye on is the futures positioning by commercials and non-commercials. The non-commercials are typically speculators, and typically, historically, they are wrong. And right now, the speculators are sizable short the S&P futures. So they're betting that the market's going to go down. And again, history is that they get it wrong. And not only are they betting, but again, the size of that short positioning is pretty large. There's a 3-year average. It's not extreme on a 3-year, but it's pretty extreme on a 1-year average of positioning on the short side. So I think that again, the earnings are going to be okay. Again, we're overpriced, but we've been overpriced for a while, and that the economy might do pretty well in the fourth quarter, as again, especially if you get more interest rate cuts. Does that mean that inflation is going to crop up? Maybe, we'll see. But I think, again, there's a lot of pessimism out there and a lot of worry, maybe justified, but that may just power this market and keep it going. So if you wanted to share some thoughts, let me know what you think. If there's any reaction, please like and share, subscribe, and we'll be back on Friday. Thank you again. Goodbye.